I've either gone through phases of dropping a lot of weight or gaining a lot of weight in a short period of time.
And going up and down in weight, especially if it's muscle, that most likely comes from cycling. Coach Greg, and today we're going over a video by none other than Mr. Delicious himself, Mike Thurston. The video is called What I've Learned About Nutrition Over the Past 10 Years. 10 years of learning about nutrition all packed into one video. So let's go over the video and see what we can learn and apply in our own lives so we can all have delicious looking bodies just like Mike Thurston.
So the first thing, you should have some basic understanding of what is in the food which you are eating. And by that, the calorie content, protein, carbs, and fat content.
Does the food have protein in it? Is it high in fat? Is it low in calories? What exactly are you eating? If you don't know about the calories in the foods that you're eating, how can you make educated and informed decisions on what you should eat? You want to lose weight? Eat lower calorie foods. You want to gain weight? Eat foods higher in calories. That makes sense. Simple tip, but most people, they don't know this. They don't know the calories in the foods that they're eating. And trust me, it is an eye-opener. You might think that healthy snack of nuts you're eating every day is helping you lose weight. Then you finally weigh it out and you look at how many calories are in it and you're like, oh my goodness, why have I been eating nuts all along? Coach Greg's right. I shouldn't be eating nuts if I'm trying to lose weight. There's too many calories.
I didn't actually start doing this until I was like 22 years old. Before that, I was just winging it. And then I always kind of was frustrated and confused as to why I wasn't gaining any more weight.
And as Thurston suggests, most people are just winging it. And when they don't lose or gain weight, they wonder why. It's because you're not tracking your calories. You need to be in a deficit to lose weight and a surplus to gain weight. And without tracking calories, how do you know if you're in a deficit or in a surplus?
You don't have to be the type of person that tracks calories every single day for every single meal.
Exactly. You don't have to weigh out every single thing for the rest of your life. But at first, you should get used to knowing the calories in the foods that you're eating.
But you should have some basic understanding of it. So at least when you're just kind of looking at a meal, you will understand what the calorie content's going to be.
That way, when you look at a plate, you can kind of say, yeah, that's probably 500 calories, 600 maybe. Not, oh, it might be 1,000, it might be 2,000. I have no idea. The more you practice this, the better you get. You'll be able to estimate the calories in your diet and not have to measure every single thing you put into your mouth.
Whatever diet you think is going to be superior, the most important thing, which is actually going to deliver results and progress, is your calorie intake for the day.
And another great point, it's not the diet that you're on. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If it's keto, intermittent fasting, or whatever, what matters is calories in, calories out. You want to lose fat? You need to be in a deficit.
So the more consistent I have been with my healthy eating habits, the better I've looked, the more consistent my progress has been. And overall, I've felt and looked and performed better.
Remember him in Ibiza looking like that? That's the one where he said delicious. Walking around as a specimen, 100% natural looking like that though. Clearly, he was 100% natural. Him and Mike O'Hearn, they're on the same program for sure. And consistency is what really matters. You can diet all week, 6 days straight, great job. But you can blow it in one day. Or maybe you're eating great for 6 months of the year, and then the other 6 months you go off track. That's not going to work. What's going to work is the diet that you can sustain or maintain for the rest of your life. None of the yo-yo dieting. If you can't do the diet, don't do the diet in the first place. Follow the diet that you can realistically sustain for the rest of your life.
I've noticed that I've either gone through phases of dropping a lot of weight or gaining a lot of weight in a short period of time.
And going up and down in weight, especially if it's muscle, that most likely comes from cycling. And I don't mean the kind you do on a bike.
And more often than not, if I've been eating bad food, I'll just look and feel terrible and my performance in the gym goes down as well.
I love how when Mike looks and feels terrible, he's still close to 10% body fat, looking better than 99.9% of the world. When he's in his bad phase or his I don't look good phase.
I noticed that when I'm eating clean, like super clean foods, lots of fruits, vegetables, I look good and I feel good. My brain is like firing.
And yes, it is calories in, calories out that decides if you lose weight at the end of the day, but that neglects your health. If it fits your macros, sure, yeah, you can lose weight, but don't think that eating jelly beans and candy all day is as healthy as eating vegetables, fruits, and getting a mix of all the macro and micronutrients that you need. Yeah, you will lose weight on a pizza and donut diet if your calories are low enough, but it's not the healthy way to go. So think of getting quality nutrition in your diet whenever possible. So it's not just about looking good, feeling good is obviously even more important. So be sure to include a wide variety of healthy foods in your diet.
And even my skin just looks better. I just look like I'm glowing. I have so many people ask me like, oh, drop the skin routine. What's the skin routine? I'm like, well, I don't really do anything for my skin. I
thought that was spray tan. You telling me that's from his diet? His skin is natural? That's his natural skin color?
I like to eat clean foods and avoid junk food. And, before you know it, I don't have any spots.
I guess he's 100% natural, both in the fact he doesn't use PDs and doesn't tan his skin.
I'm not like puffy or bloated or anything like that. So you are what you eat.
You are what you eat. So Allie's obviously Fruit Loops and pickle pizza.
Yes, the best.
That's what she is. And Coach Greg, I'm a French toast.
I've had my fair share of cheat meals over the years. As I've got older, I've come to the realization that most of the time it's just not worth it. You're getting a very temporary, sensual experience.
I mean, there's too much over-dramatic use of the food. Food is being compared to sex way too often. It's just food. It tastes good. It's not comparable to sex, right, babe? Right, babe?
That's right.
You heard it here, right from Allie's mouth, or should I say, the horse's mouth. And that's not an insult because animals are better than humans.
I get a slump in energy. I'm usually way too full because I've overeaten. So not only do I feel like crap, but I've eaten way too many calories.
Love how Mike Thurston overeats and sticks his belly out and all you can see is a six-pack poking through his shirt. Don't you wish you had that problem? Oh, I ate so much food. Look at my pregnant belly of a six-pack of abs through my shirt that's clearly visible through clothing. I had a bad day, eat too much. I have a pregnant belly that looks better than 99% of the world.
The next point is all about knowing yourself, understanding your weaknesses and what is going to throw you off track.
Know your weakness and be proactive. If cheat meals throw you off, you eat a cheat meal and then you can't stop, you want it day after day, stop having all the cheat meals. If cereal's your weakness and it's in the pantry, don't keep cereal in the pantry. Realize what your trigger foods are and keep them out of the house or at the very least out of sight. If you see it, you're going to want to eat it. So do your best to avoid the exposure to the highly palatable foods that you cannot resist.
Having snacks in the house, right? That is one thing that is just, I can't have any junk food, only snacks in the house.
Avoid having the snacks in the house. Keep them out of the house. If you need to snack, go buy it at the store, eat a little bit, and throw it out. Oh, but they're starving people. But not you. You're not starving. Don't eat the entire bag of Oreos, the cookies, the chips. Eat some. When you're done, throw it out. You're allowed.
There will be a point where I'm hungry, where willpower is low, and I'll go rummaging through the cupboards, and then I'll just snack away.
Exactly. Keep the crap out of the house. Eventually your willpower will fade. You're going to go eat it. You know you are. You're buying, oh, it's for my kids. Yeah, right. It's for you. You just use the excuse that it's for your kids. Your kids don't need it either.
Sugar is my weakness. When I consume a lot of sugar, my taste buds are overwhelmed with pleasure.
I would say instead of eating a lot of sugary foods, replace that sugar with artificial sweeteners to lower the calories.
The next thing I've learned, and that is, don't eat too much food before going to bed. Every time I do this, I regret it the next day.
Avoid eating too many calories or too large a meal before bed. You don't need a full stomach. You don't need to be in pain to go to sleep.
What happens when I have a huge meal before lying down and trying to go to sleep? First of all, I feel really uncomfortable. My belly hurts.
It can negatively affect your sleep. And just think of it. You did so good all day, eating your diet, sticking to what you wanted, and suddenly it's an hour before bed, and you waste the entire day's work by over-consuming calories. Be careful. Before bed, this is the most dangerous time to eat too many calories.
I wake up the next day after my terrible sleep. I have a puffy face. I'm bloated.
Try to eat low-calorie, voluminous foods to keep you full and prevent you from overeating and binging at night.
As a general rule of thumb, I eat 2 to 3 hours before actually lying horizontal. So that means that I'm going to bed satisfied and fed, but not full.
Eat till you're satisfied, maybe till you're full, but don't eat until you're stuffed, especially before bed.
The next thing I've learned is now to always think ahead. So I will look at a meal and I think, how is this meal going to make me feel after I've consumed it?
Before you eat something, tell yourself, how is this food going to make me feel? Will I feel stuffed after this? Am I going to feel uncomfortable? Am I going to be tired, lethargic? Or am I going to feel good? Is this going to help me in some way? Is there enough protein in this meal? Is this enough calories? Is this too many calories? And what I like to do is this. How many calories am I going to get here? And how full and satisfied am I going to be? Yes, you may love the food you're about to eat, but realize there's 1,000 calories in just a small portion. Maybe instead of that 1,000-calorie dessert you want to have at the end of the meal, you could eat a 500-calorie dessert of something else that's more filling. Determine the number of calories in the food you're about to eat and decide, is it worth it? If it is, go for it, eat it. If it's not, reconsider and eat something else.
And the last thing, very importantly, you need to understand that there is always going to be bad days.
You're going to slip up. You're going to do things that you regret. Just try to minimize those days. Try not to do them very often.
But the key is to minimize the amount of bad days you have.
And just because you ate too many calories one day doesn't mean you have to continue this pattern. If you fall off the horse, get back up on it. Dust yourself off. Don't stay down. Get back up. Don't let one bad meal or day turn into another. Be as consistent as possible and try not to slip up too often.
They're the things which stood out to me most when I kind of just sat down and thought about it. So hopefully you guys don't make those mistakes.
Ending it here. If you like that, subscribe. Click the bell button. Press everything until you're subscribed. And don't forget the bell button. Blooping up 2 videos, watch at least one of those, and follow me on the gram and the talk. Buy my freaking cookbook for low-calorie, delicious recipes. That'll keep you full. That's certainly going to help you on your road to weight loss. And until next time, I'm out.